Bridge to Captain Kirk. Bridge to Captain Kirk.
Yes, Lieutenant.
We've received a distress signal from an unidentified vessel. Mr. Spock has requested your presence on the bridge.
I'll be right there. We'll continue this later. Laura, anything new?
Not yet, sir. Signal's automated. No live contact's been made.
Sulu?
The ship is coming into range now, Captain.
The vessel's Telluride in design. Looks like a Begov-class private transport.
Australia?
New Zealand, sir. Instant Tongaroa. I just transferred from the hood. Spent some time studying ship designs of different cultures.
Very good. There should be a crew.
Typically 3 or 4. 6 maximum.
Scanning now, Captain. I'm reading a single humanoid life form. Vital signs are erratic, life support systems are failing.
Understood. Uhura, have the sick bay standing by.
Aye, sir.
It may not be prudent to beam aboard an unknown life form, Captain.
But you said vital signs were erratic.
Yes, sir, I did.
And life support systems failing?
Yes, sir.
Uhura, send security to the transporter room. Transporter room!
Go ahead, sir.
Stand by to receive coordinates from Mr. Spock and beam the life from aboard. Mr. Spock, would you care to join me?
Mr. Scott, you have the bridge.
That was strange.
Jinx, Captain?
Jinx, Mr. Spock. It's something people used to shout when they said the same thing at the same time.
Indeed. The life form could not be confirmed as Telluride, but knowing the volatile nature of that species, I would recommend caution. Jinx?
See? You've got it already. Crewman.
Security alert! We have an intruder aboard! Seal off Deck 4, Section 12A through F!
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Captain's log, stardate 6154.1. Due to a serious breach in transporter room protocol, the Enterprise has acquired an unexpected stowaway. We won't harm you. We're your friends. You're on the Federation starship Enterprise. I'm Captain Kirk. It's all right. It's all right. He's our chief of security, Drake. He won't harm you either. Give me the knife. It's always best not to stab your friends. Well, that could have gone smoother.
Weaponry often complicates negotiations.
What was an Orion slave girl doing on a Tellarite ship? Bones, did she give you any trouble?
She was confused when she came to, but she settled down during our tests. The bruising and contusions indicate she has been in a scrap. I also detected traces of blood that are not hers. Not that I can get a word out of her to confirm any of that.
Captain, further scans of the transport reveal the bodies of 3 Tellarites. The answers we're looking for are over there.
Agreed. You and Mr. Spock, beam over and see what you can find out.
Also, the Orion girl has been tattooed with an index symbol. We were able to use the symbol to obtain a partial trace.
And?
She was sold 4 days ago to a Tellarite merchant by the name Sev Bim Jor. The ship set out with 4 passengers. She was purchased directly from one of Orion's wealthiest traders.
Apparently someone wasn't too happy with the transaction.
There is the only one still alive able to confirm that. Careful, Captain. The power of the Orion pheromones...
Spock, it's all right. What's your name? We'd like to help you, but we need to know your name and what happened.
You're losing your touch, Jim. I know she can hear. Maybe she can't understand us. Maybe she can't speak.
Most likely discouraged from doing so. Approximately 70 years ago, Orion women held dominion over the men. But in a revolt and after a civil war, the men gained control. Rather than abolish the slave trade, they continued it and, in many ways, made it worse. The women are bred with no education or opportunity, in part to keep them subservient, and in part out of revenge.
First, the men are slaves to the women, then the women slaves to the men.
Why does anyone have to be a slave to anyone?
Gentlemen, Dr. McCoy requested my presence.
I thought her expertise would be useful in establishing communication with our patient.
Yes, of course. Either she can't speak or won't speak.
Well, it's hard to believe she spent years around slave traders without picking up any language at all.
Lolani. My name is Lolani. Please don't be angry with me. I apologize if I've harmed anyone. Not knowing if you were friend or foe, I remained silent and listened.
Logical.
I was born and raised off-world. When my parents died suddenly, I was returned back to Orion and forced into slavery. The things they did to me. The things I was forced to do.
I'm so sorry.
Please don't send me back there. You have no idea what it's like.
Easy, Lolani. We'll do anything we can to help you. For now, you're safe and you're free. Bones, if she's medically cleared, maybe we could move her to guest quarters.
Are you sure, Captain?
It's fine.
It sounds like a wonderful idea.
This is Dr. McKenna. Doctor, if you would accompany her.
It would be my pleasure.
So according to Chief Drake's report, you have an Orion girl on your ship and 3 dead Tellarites aboard another.
That's correct. The girl was the property of one of the Tellarites at the time of their death. She was wounded in some sort of assault. If we can confirm that the Tellarites were culpable, could she be granted some sort of asylum?
The Orion system is not a member of the Federation. Their law clearly states that the girl reverts back to the property of the one who sold her. We cannot participate in any act that would be perceived as a challenge to their sovereignty.
Yes, but for the time being, she can...
The girl's owner has already been notified and is en route to you. He will rendezvous with the Enterprise in approximately 32 hours. Captain, The Federation certainly does not condone the slavery of any life form, but we cannot risk an interstellar incident over one girl. Continue your investigation, but I can make no promises.
I understand, Company. Enterprise out.
Those are some pretty nasty bruises. Are you sure you're okay for a walk?
You're kind to ask, but we Orions are built quite sturdily.
Of that I have no doubt.
What a beautiful ship. And men and women working alongside each other equally.
Well, the Federation sees no difference between the rights and abilities of men and women.
But biologically and chemically, we're different. One gender isn't stronger than the other?
We're each individuals with our own strengths and weaknesses, but we're not defined by our gender.
That sounds like a dream. One I've had many a night.
It's a good dream, Lolani. One worth holding on to. And this is the command bridge. Usually everyone is working.
Doctor, what brings you to the bridge?
I was just giving Lolani a small tour of the ship, but I hadn't anticipated it would be such a distraction.
Not at all, just another day at the office. Feel free to have a look around.
Well, hello there. I'm Montgomery Scott, chief engineer of this entire ship. I make sure everything functions correctly.
That sounds like a very important job.
Aye, it is. Would you care to see my station, lassie?
Did you hear from Starfleet?
I did.
And what did they say?
We're allowed to continue our investigation, but as far as she's concerned, our hands appear to be tied.
So you're giving up?
I'm not giving up.
Sounds like you're giving up.
I'm not giving up.
There was resignation in your voice, Captain. Sir, we cannot simply return this girl to a life of servitude and slavery.
Dr. McKenna, you're new to this ship, so I'll excuse you for not understanding. But when I say I'll do everything I can, I'll do everything I can.
Do you always challenge each other in this manner?
No, not always. Why do you ask?
Well, I read in some cultures such challenging between males and females is considered a mating ritual.
No. Not in this culture.
Yes, I mean, no. No, yes to the no. No.
Captain, Chief Drake is hailing from the Tellarite ship.
Pipe it down to the briefing room. I'll take it there.
Aye, sir.
Ladies, if you'll, excuse me.
Of course, Captain.
Did I say something wrong?
Oh, no, you were simply making an observation.
I observed something else as well.
You did?
Women in uniform command the respect of their peers. You can tell a lot about someone from what they wear.
I've got something for you I think you're really gonna like.
What is it?
The mercenaries were engaged in a firefight, which compromised both the navigational and life support systems.
And what about the merchant, Sev Bim
Jor. Therein lies the mystery. He did not die from a phaser, but from a deep puncture wound to his throat.
From something like a dagger.
The mercenaries also had daggers, but neither appears to have been used. There are traces of Lolani's DNA under their fingernails. I believe she was more involved in this incident than she has revealed.
All right. See what other information you can gather and return to the ship. I'll see what I can gather from here.
Aye, Captain.
Come in.
How are you enjoying your quarters?
They're lovely. I'm feeling very spoiled, Captain.
I'm glad. I brought you a book. You said on the bridge that you read. I thought you might enjoy it.
A gift. Thank you. What's it about?
It's about a once great Earth civilization that collapsed from within due to its own moral decay.
That sounds like something that could happen on Orion.
could happen in any culture where people forget the ideals that made them great. I also have some questions.
I'm sure. Please, sit. It's in my nature to be a good hostess, and since you've given me such a beautiful room to host, what's the use in fighting our natures?
We learned that the mercenaries were killed at each other's hands.
That's not a question, Captain.
We also learned that the merchant was killed by a knife wound to the throat.
Also not a question. You are bad at this, Captain.
From a knife like the one you brought on board. You need to tell me what happened. What happened?
They began touching me. The one who bought me got angry and they started fighting. I hid in the corner and closed my eyes. There was so much yelling and fighting. And when the noise stopped, I opened my eyes and they were all dead.
I'm glad you're all right, but that story isn't consistent with the facts.
What does it matter what happened, really? If you were enslaved, wouldn't you be grateful just to be free?
I would, but the truth always matters. The one who sold you is on his way here.
Zamenhof? Please, no. He is a brutal man. A brutal, vicious monster who abuses his slaves.
There's still maybe
Please
time.
don't send me back to him. I was bound, and now I'm free. I was numb, and now I can feel. I was paralyzed, and now I can dance.
This is a bad idea.
This is the best idea. A free man, a free woman. We can go anywhere and do anything. We are free to do whatever we like. You'll protect me, won't you, Captain? Please don't let him take me away.
Bridge to Captain Kirk.
Please.
Bridge to Captain Kirk. Bridge to Captain Kirk.
Kirk here. What is it, Lieutenant?
Mr. Spock and Chief Drake have returned from the Tellarite ship.
Have them meet me on the bridge.
Aye, sir.
That was wrong of me. I know what you're trying to do, but seducing me is not the answer.
No, Captain, that was wrong of me. I'm sorry. Some habits die hard.
You're right about one thing, Alani. Everyone has the right to be free. I wish it didn't matter what happened on that ship, but unfortunately it does. I'll do whatever I can to help you. I promise.
You. Hello. Are you lost? Do you need help with anything?
This is where I'm gonna have to leave your ship forever.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. I should be the one apologizing to you. I held a knife to your throat.
You remember me?
I cannot forget this face. Or the man attached to it. Does this man have a name?
Kenway. Matthew.
Matthew. A monster is coming to take me back to Orion. Please don't let him. Please? I will go anywhere as long as it's away from him. I would feel much safer here with you. cannot deny the attraction I felt the moment I saw you.
How can I help you?
What if we were to fly away together? Just the two of us?
A more detailed forensic analysis of the crime scene reveals that only one of the Tellarites was killed by another. The merchant Sevbim Jor and the second mercenary were killed by a fourth participant.
You're certain?
There's no evidence of any recent docking or transport from another ship.
It appears to be the only logical explanation. I know that Orion women can be very persuasive, and we mustn't allow ourselves to be deceived. She is no longer an unfortunate slave captain. She could be a murderer.
Captain, the shuttlecraft bay doors have been activated.
On whose authority?
None that I'm aware.
Could it be?
Seal the doors. Have security meet me at the hangar deck. Mr. Drake?
Captain,
I'll deal with you in a minute. Some habits die hard.
I would do anything to keep from going back to Orion. This isn't his fault. He was only trying to protect me.
Confine her to quarters. Post a guard there. I'm revoking her free roaming privileges.
Yes, Captain.
Matthew, forgive me!
Lonnie!
Stand down, crewman.
Please, you gotta let me help her. Please, Captain, we can't let her be a slave again to anyone!
Get a hold of yourself, mister! I may have to tolerate the sovereignty of alien worlds, but what I won't tolerate is insubordination on my ship! You're confined to quarters until your next duty shift, and you're not to go near that girl again, do you understand?
But, Captain...
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Chief, see that he gets there.
Captain, please.
Kirk to sickbay.
Sickbay. McCoy here, Captain.
Bones, is there anything that can protect our crewmen against the effects of the Orion pheromones?
Actually, there is. Ship-wide inoculation can be ready at your command. Why? What's up, Jim?
Never mind. Just start inoculating immediately. Kirk out. Where's Lolani?
Isn't it lovely? Dr. McKenna gave it to me. She said it's what ladies wear on other exotic worlds. I feel almost like a princess.
You look lovely.
Captain, I'm sorry for what I did. Even though I'm desperate to remain free, I shouldn't have manipulated your crewmen. It won't happen again.
No, it won't. Dr. McCoy has inoculated the crew against the effects of your pheromones.
That really isn't necessary.
We think it was. We've pieced together most of what happened on the Tellarite ship, but there's one important piece of information still missing.
I told you everything I know. I told them everything I remember.
Captain, it's not uncommon for someone who's been traumatized to block out memories that are just too painful. It's entirely possible she's simply not conscious of everything that happened.
That's why Mr. Spock is here.
I don't understand.
If you'll permit me, I will connect with your mind and reveal any additional information.
It won't hurt you in any way. I'll be here with you the whole time. Please trust us, Lolani.
I trust you.
Our minds are coming together. Closer. I see what you see. feel what you feel.
They're looking at me. They come towards me. One touches me. Then the other. They're fighting. Seven Jor protests, but they overpower him. One is on top of me. I reach for his gun. I fire. Seven Jors wounded, begging for help. There's a knife in my hand. Well, will you report that I'm a murderer? Will you send me to some Federation prison?
You're not subject to our laws.
And besides, you were defending yourself as anyone in your situation would do.
But you will send me back. The bruises on my body are not from the Tellarites. Zamenhof beats his slaves. What is he gonna do to me when I go back there? And the others like me, they don't even know any better. They think they deserve it.
We are not diplomats, Lolani. We do not have the authority to...
To do what? To make a difference in the unbearable hell that is the slave trade on my planet? Well, I could be the voice for women who have none. Not if you send me back in chains. Please, Captain.
How long before Zamenhof's ship arrives?
His course and speed puts him here at any moment.
And then what? We just hand her over as if she's property?
Under Orion law, she is. We do not have the right...
Spock, you of all people. You saw what happened to her. You felt it. Isn't that bigger than some planet's immoral law?
I confess I was unprepared for the anguish I experienced during my mind meld with Lolani. I empathize with her.
And there are many more like her. And don't we empathize with all beings who are forced into slavery?
But there are other things to consider.
Such as?
She's dangerous. She brandished a knife at the captain. She attempted to steal a shuttlecraft. Dr. McCoy had to inoculate the entire crew to protect against her.
That's true. But you can't condemn her for her body's own natural physiology.
Especially she's only using it to try to gain her freedom.
And can you imagine what will happen to her when she's returned? Considering all that she's done just to escape. The Orions are not known for their civility, gentlemen. She could be beaten to death. Starfleet isn't here. If they were, perhaps they'd see things differently.
But they'd still be bound by the same laws that we are.
Captain, Orion vessel approaching with one passenger on board. He's signaling he's ready for transport.
Have the transporter room stand by. We're on our way.
Isn't there something we can do?
Dinner. We'll treat him with all the proper courtesy and serve him a civilized dinner he won't soon forget. All right, gentlemen, are we ready?
Aye, something's not sitting right in my gut about this, sir.
Well, your gut may be right, Scotty. We'll find out soon enough.
Treating someone with respect with whom we philosophically disagree is an intriguing strategy. It will be interesting to see how he responds should we not return his property.
Well, we may have no choice, Spock.
Locked on, sir.
Energize. Kirk. Welcome aboard the Enterprise, Zamenhof.
Captain Kirk, it's the honor to board your fair ship.
It's an honor to have you, sir.
Oh, no. You're the captain. I'm just but a small, simple businessman. It's a shame I can't stay longer.
I'm delighted to hear you say that. We've prepared a dinner in anticipation of your arrival. We'd love to know more about you and your people.
I've never been the one to turn down a free meal, much less in the company of these revered men.
This is my Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Leonard McCoy, my Chief Engineer, Lieutenant Commander Montgomery Scott, and my First Officer, Commander Spock, will escort you to dinner personally.
Vulcan. Very good. Lead on, Mr.
Spock.
Spock. Yes, of course.
I'll join you shortly.
Take as much time as you want, Captain.
Now that was unexpected.
He seems nice for a slave trader.
Kenway, you're supposed to be in your quarters.
Oh, no, I've been cleared to return to duty. I mean, besides, we've all been inoculated anyway, so the Orion woman, she's not a threat. All right. I'm to deliver a message regarding her owner. I can show you a copy of my orders if you'd like.
That's not necessary. I'll be right outside.
Matthew.
I had to see you.
You did? I was hoping to see you again as well.
I wish there was some way I could help you.
Can you make me disappear? Can you make Zamenhof disappear? When he takes me away, my dream of ending the horror of Orion slave trade will die. And your captain is gonna let that happen?
Captain Kirk is a good man, but he can't disobey Starfleet orders. He'd lose his command.
I read once, the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Can you let that happen?
How can someone like me prevent it?
Someone like you?
I hate what's happening to you and those on your planet, but what can I do about it? What can I do? I'm nobody.
If I've learned anything, it's everyone is someone. That's the message that needs to reach others like me. I feel like I'm screaming and no one can hear me.
I hear you. I hear you.
But I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Wait.
What is this delicious meat?
It is an earth vegetable. It is called eggplant.
Wonderful. It tastes almost like a wing slug. Does it also scream when it's boiled?
No, it does not.
And what is this beverage?
It's an earth wine called Shiraz.
I can't take the alcohol.
I sure can. So, I'm curious, Zamenhof. The females of your species release a powerful pheromone that I had to inoculate the crew against.
It's good you did that, Doctor.
Are the males of your species gifted with a similar biochemical control?
Being under the pressure of females for decades hindered us from developing into their level of potency. But yes, we do have a certain natural scent that can attract the desired mate.
Leilani says you're a brutal monster.
Captain, she's a very troubled girl. I don't expect you to know any more about her history than she wishes you to. I treat her well. All my girls, they're all well cared for.
Please forgive Mr. Scott for his lack of sensitivity.
No apology necessary. I've got 218 slaves, more than any other on Orion. Beautiful girls, beautiful. They provide pleasure and passion throughout the galaxy. I surmise that bits and practices will be a source of interest to you. I'm happy to be an ambassador for my culture. Don't hold back, just ask me any question.
It's my understanding that the Orion people have practiced slavery since the discovery of fire.
Correct.
Surely it wasn't a universally accepted concept? Perhaps it even caused a war or two in your early tribal culture?
Possibly. The Orions never cared to chronicle our history in great detail.
How do you ever expect to learn from it?
Easy, Doctor. I mean, who are we to judge a system that has worked for the Orions for hundreds of years? I've heard that your females are actually quite comfortable and happy in their standing.
That's right, Captain. You know, after the Civil War, our women had no purpose. It fell upon the men to give them direction. They're next to animals without it.
Now that, I can understand. Take Dr. McKenna here. She's obstinate when she doesn't get her own way, and she certainly benefits from my guidance as a man. I'm wondering, how much would you pay for her?
Excuse me?
How much is she worth? She could be your 219th.
Nah, I couldn't put a price on it. This woman's educated, refined, civilized. Slavery's not for her kind.
But she challenges me, Zamenhof. She questions my authority on and on.
Captain, don't be unreasonable. She's clearly learned and capable.
And what about Lolani? She's as learned and capable as any Starfleet officer. Animals do not thirst for knowledge and strive to better themselves. She's consumed a wealth of learning as you've consumed your food, Zamenhof. She's not a slave. She's a woman. And even without the knowledge, education, beauty, talent, she is still a woman with a fundamental right to be free.
Captain, you're a shrewd one. I like you. But the hour's late, and we're not going to change each other's minds over a fine dinner. With your permission, Captain, I'd like to take my leave and return with my Lolani.
Fascinating, but not unexpected.
Captain.
I'm sorry, Doctor. I was simply trying to illustrate a point.
What did you hope to accomplish, sir?
Well, I hoped that if he saw Lolani the way we do, perhaps he wouldn't take her away.
Well, it didn't appear to work. Any other ideas?
Nothing.
I believe it may be time to say goodbye.
I'll tell her.
Greetings, friend. Thank you for caring for my dear girl. You're free to go. I'll take care of her.
I'm gonna have to check with the captain first.
Certainly, whatever pleases you, friend. Well, well, well. Look at you. You have them eating out of your hand. I'm a brutal monster? How dare you humiliate me? When I get you back, you're gonna regret the day you ever imagined yourself as anything but a slave! And then, this Earth's costume, changing the covering doesn't change one underneath. And you'll be punished until you bring your plate! Do it! Bleed me out! Reveal to them the animal you really are! Go on! Go on! Come on! You're lucky you're still alive, Captain. You had no right to interfere. This is my property.
Civilized men do not treat people as property. But if that's all you understand, how much do you want for her?
What?
Lolani, I wish to buy her from you.
First you condemn my trade, then you wish to partake in it?
I wish her free from you by any means.
No.
Why?
Because it pleases me to deny you. I perceive you win too much, Captain. You will not win this one.
Whatever the Tellarites paid you, I'll match it.
I will not sell her to you for all the gold in the mines of Denver. Now, Captain, can you stand aside and beam us back to my ship? Or when I'm done with you and your Starfleet, you'll be lucky to command a Gamma Scout.
I shouldn't have to tell you that what you did was completely irresponsible. It was practically akin to striking a political figure. Zamenhof is a powerful man.
His actions prove that we are condemning this girl to a life of physical and mental torture.
And that is a matter for the diplomats, Captain. And what about the families of the slain Tellarites? Do they not deserve justice as well?
Commodore, the Tellarites were abusing her. She was fighting for her safety, her freedom.
The Federation will not commit an act of war over one slave.
Lolani.
Captain, you will return Zamenhof and the slave girl Lolani to his ship immediately. You have your orders. Starfleet out.
Thank you for the fine dinner, Captain, and the sense to follow orders. May our paths never cross again.
Likewise. Energize.
Permission to leave my post, Captain.
Granted. McCoy told me he inoculated the crew.
He did, sir.
Whatever I can to help you. I promise.
Please don't send me back there. You have no idea what it's like.
She's a woman with a fundamental right to be free.
The Federation will not commit an act of war over one slave.
Her name is Lolani. All hands, this is the captain. I'm about to violate a direct order from Starfleet Command. I take full responsibility for this action, and my log will reflect that none of the crew are complicit. Any of you had the opportunity over the last few days to meet the young Orion girl that was aboard. Her name is Lolani. Mr. Sulu, 3/4 impulse speed. Close the distance to Zamenhof's ship. Bring us within transporter range. Transporter room, stand by to beam Lolani aboard.
We're in transporter range now, Captain.
Transporter room.
on this recording, it means I have failed. I am dead. I did not wish for my life to end this way, but I thought it was the only means left to send a message to those who enslave others. My death will mean nothing. But perhaps Zamenhof's death will light a fire in my people and their allies, those who witness inhumanity and do not act. The message of hope must go on. It must reach Orion. Thousands of young Orion girls are longing, desperate to live free, to dream, to fly. It is obvious I will not be the one to carry that message, though I pray another will. If we remain silent to the cruelties that surround us, we will lose a part of ourselves. The part that feels, that stands up for injustice. The part that loves. May this not be the end, but a beginning. Freedom at all costs.
Permission to take an extended leave, Captain. To visit family.
Would this family happen to be anywhere near the Orion system?
Yes, sir. Yes, it would.
Granted.
Thank you, sir.
Kenway. You may need this.
Thank you.